Very good afternoon and heartiest welcome to the 6th International Palandokin Scientific Studies Congress 24th and 25th June 2023 organized by Isaac Turkey. I am Dr. Sanghamitra Adhya, Associate Professor in Geography, Kalyani Mahavidyalaya, West Bengal, India, and moderator of Session 3, Hall 3 of this international program. Welcome you all. This session has 10 speakers from 4 different nations: India, Nigeria, Indonesia, and Morocco. Today I am going to discuss about public perceptions of urban green spaces. In the context of climate change, urban green spaces or UGS have enormous implicit as measures for climate change, adaptation and mitigation. The development of similar spaces both requires and benefits from public support. This work seeks to analyze the views of urban green spaces of urban dwellers and to identify gaps in the available exploration. The research explores the benefits associated with civic green spaces, including physical, mental, social networks and social connections, employment and income generation, ecosystem services, and biodiversity conservation. Urban green spaces is defined as urban land partly or completely covered with grass, trees, and other vegetation. These include parks, community gardens, cemeteries, rooftop gardens, vertical gardens, meadows, and woods. UGS is also referred to as blue-green zone because urban water such as ditches, canals, inland waterways, rivers, and riverbanks. Urban green spaces are very important because urban expansion is taking place at the expense of native ecosystem forests, woodland and grasslands. The cumulative effects produce serious global environmental and social problems. There is loss of biodiversity, local to regional climate change. Based on responses of 538 people in 46 countries in 2021-22, this paper integrates environmental, social, psychological, and profitable aspects of urban greening to give sapience into the parallels and differences in comprehension in UGS and suggest approaches to erecting climate change flexible urban communities. Green infrastructure is strategically planned network of natural and semi-natural areas with other environmental features, designed and managed to deliver a wide range of ecosystem services while also enhancing biodiversity and water purification. Green infrastructure can be divided into natural assets like wetlands, forests, parks, meadows, lawns, gardens, and soil. Enhanced assets like rain gardens, rooftops, wind roofs, walls, biowells, and naturalized stormwater ponds, permeable pavements, rain barrels, cisterns, perforated pipes, and infiltration trenches are examples of engineered assets. The World Green Health Organization proposes universal access to green space comprising at least 0.5 hectares and no more than 300 meters linear distance from every house. Parks and other urban green zones are possible locations for introductions. The availability of effectiveness of urban green spaces contribute to the growth of social cohesiveness among residents of the vicinity of the green space. Physical characteristics, perceptions of greenness, and patterns of usage of green spaces are directly related to fostering social cohesiveness. Social cohesiveness depends on physical qualities of green spaces, and there is significant correlation between social cohesiveness and perceptions of landscaping, safety, and closeness of green spaces. People are more inclined to engage in outdoor activities when they believe their surroundings to be greener and more natural, which promotes social interaction among locals. The creation of a feeling of community was influenced by both the quality of the parks and the accessibility of the users to the parks. The utilization of these areas is determined by how UGS are viewed, such as their cultural ecosystem functions. Climate change mitigation focuses on energy, transportation, architecture, and industry. Adaptation to climate change covers the departments of land use planning and water management, agriculture, and human health. It could be assumed that urban green spaces support this strategy for minimizing the negative effects of climate change. Urban planners take this into consideration when considering options for urban green development. The creation and expansion of urban green spaces is the responsibility of the departments associated with adaptation. The participants' comprehension of the practical advantages of trees and urban green areas, such as cooling and carbon sequestration, was connected to their perceptions of climatic variables and extreme events. These beliefs were linked to their awareness of the potential advantages of UGS for reducing climate change, such as floodwater management and storm damage reduction. Participants' perception of the importance of urban trees and green spaces increased as they gained a better understanding of the adverse effects of climate change. Rapid urbanization and industrialization in developing countries are also resulting in major problems such as air pollution and increased health risks. The impact of urbanization on the climate is seen in the urban heat island effect, wherein the air temperature in urban areas is considerably higher than in rural areas. The urban heat island results in excessive use of air conditioning machines during summer, thus accelerating the formation of urban smoke. One of the challenges of unplanned urbanization is in the implementation of master plans with areas dedicated to green space. Regarding the creation of UGS, the true critical inputs are availability of land areas and adequate water supply to maintain the existing green space or new ones planned. Cities face the challenge of the surge of rural migrants who tend to occupy any free space in urban areas. Cities need to cater to the civic amenities of water, electricity, and road access for migrants. These factors might severely hinder the much needed creation of parks, lawns, or gardens for greening the city environment. Only 29.37% of the total surveyed people are very satisfied with the quality of local urban green space. Urban green space is a place to relax and to get away from the city, a safe area to bring children and pets. It is a good source of exercise opportunities which gives relief of mental stress from city life and work. It brings neighborhoods together by working together. It supports play, brain development, and creates diversity and brings cultures together. Some urban green spaces have the opportunities for personal gardening, to grow own fruits and vegetables and host outdoor events. About 89% of the surveyed people consider that having urban green space in their local area is very important, and 7.98% people consider it is fairly important. Urban gardening is of economic importance and create jobs. Urban gardening can make a city's economic base expansion and creation of economic activities through the production, packaging, and selling opportunities for food, vegetable, herbs, and fruit products. As a result, jobs are created, the cost of food goes down, and people consume more quality foods. A healthy community also translates to vibrant and hardworking people who can work towards building the economy. At the same time, considerably big urban gardens may require the services of gardening experts, thus creating new jobs. About 36% of respondents have their own gardens to produce vegetables and fruits. About 19% people use their friends, families, or neighbors' lands. About 12% people can use community gardens to produce vegetables and fruits. Urban gardening is the practice of cultivating, processing, and distributing food in or around urban areas. It is now recognized and accepted that as a way to experience a variety of environmental, economic, and social benefits. A lot of people, from entrepreneurs and community leaders to the general public, have taken note that it is the traditional cultivation of crops, but in urban centers can also involve animal husbandry, aquaculture, agroforestry, urban beekeeping, and horticulture. About 23% of people can't produce vegetables and fruits due to lack of spaces. Other challenges are gardens are of small size, about 30%, and no allotment of open space, about 4%. Runoff from stormwater continues to be a major cause of water pollution in urban areas. It carries trash, bacteria, heavy metals, and other pollutants through storm sewers into local waterways. Heavy rainstorms can cause flooding that damages property and infrastructure. Historically, communities have used grey infrastructural systems like gutters, pipes, and tunnels to move stormwater away from where we live to treatment plants or straight to local water bodies. The grey infrastructure in many areas are aging, and its existing capacity to manage the large volume of stormwater is decreasing in areas across the country. To meet this challenge, many communities are installing green infrastructure systems to improve their capacity to manage stormwater. By doing so, communities are becoming more resilient and achieving environmental, social, and economic benefits. About 77% of the people agree strongly that community involvement helps to improve local urban green space. Areas faced with food security issues have limited choices, often relying on highly processed fast food or convenience store foods that are high in calories and low in nutrients, which may lead to elevated rates of diet-related illnesses such as diabetes. Urban gardening allows individuals to socially interact, contributing to society's social and emotional well-being. It creates a sense of community participation for not only the community but also individuals and families, making community events more possible and easier to work on. About 51% respondents think the local green space meet their needs. Who recommends minimum 9 square meter green open space per city dweller? A ratio of 1 tree per person is necessary to maintain a healthy environment. Increasing immigration into cities creates severe pressure on the water. For example, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Delhi, and Pune, the megacities of India, are experiencing a surge of external population in search of economic opportunities. Consequently, there is a rapidly increasing demand for land and water. This is also affecting other habitats of the city, including urban green spaces. The encroachment of hill slopes, riverbeds, barren and fallow land by slums have led to the degradation of both these habitats. Also, the artificial plantations of exotic species result in degradation of the local habitat and disturb the local biodiversity. Native plants are suitable for plantation. Water bodies planned as developed green or recreational areas. Xeriscape can be used for landscaping to minimize water requirement. Land bills coming under high tension lines like reserved, planned and developed as open spaces with a shorter variety of trees to avoid problems are some ways to create more urban green spaces. Parking hard areas planned or planted with trees to minimize the heat island effect and involving institutions and campuses having large area for tree plantation or landscaping. Making environment or ecology an integral part of education or study curricula and creating awareness about the role or importance of green spaces at the individual or community level can improve the condition of urban green spaces. Urban green spaces are integral part of city planning. Green and open areas distributed all over the city, concentration of open spaces to be avoided. All low-lying areas or areas of natural or man-made beauty can be marked as open spaces or parks. Encroachment from open areas should be removed and developed, involving people in planning, designing, development and maintenance of open spaces, and corporate sectors or institutions should be actively involved in developing or maintenance of open spaces. Cities can prepare inventory of open spaces which should be safeguarded from encroachment. Organizing competition for best gardens at residential or institution level and organizing festivals like Rose Festival to promote green and open spaces are some ways or strategies for improvement of green spaces. Numerous recurring challenges and issues are coming from the impact of the compact city approach, and densification processes are evident, including loss of public and private urban green spaces due to densification measures and risk for inadequate green space provision in areas under densification. These issues arise despite different contexts in different regions regarding urban density, population growth, societal condition, and preconditions for planning urban green spaces. For efficient space design, preserving currently existing urban green space is often recommended as the first step, particularly in already densely populated cities. This paper finds difference for encouraging the use of integrated multidisciplinary approaches using innovative tools for both the study and practical development of urban green spaces. Conducting a lesser number of studies of newer urban areas in developing countries and considering the different disadvantages as well as the advantages of urban green spaces in order to support the continued development and expansion of this critical climate friendly structure. The inhabitants, impressions, and attitudes regarding urban green spaces are included in the design of similar spaces in new areas. Thank you.